योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्ताम् सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यां च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्. Shloka 45 in Vishnu Sahasranama is Ridu Sudarshana Kalaha Paramishti Parigraha Ugra Samvatsaro Daksho Vishramo Vishwadakshinaha. There are 10 namas in this shloka and they are Rituhu Sudarshanaha Kalaha Paramishti Parigraha Ugraha Samvatsaraha Dakshaha Vishramaha Vishwadakshinaha. These are the 10 namas in this shloka, and the first nama is Rituhu. Ritu directly means season. There are 6 seasons. There is the Vasanta Ritu, Grishma Ritu, Varsha Ritu, Sharat Ritu, Hemanta Ritu, and Shishira Ritu. These are the 6 seasons, and each will last for 2 months, and thus it makes 1 year. So what is this ritus? It lasts for 2 months, means it indicates the moment of time, is it not? It indicates the moment when the sunlight falls on this position on this earth at that time and that altitude, and with all those reasons, it forms various great summer or winter, shishira, like that. Vasanta Ritu, spring season, like that. So it indicates the moment. So the Ritu means it involves time and movement, and that is Bhagavan. Who else is this time? Bhagavan is the personification of time. So Bhagavan is in the form of time, as time. He is behind these ritus, and so he is called a Rituhu. He is the very essence of time. The next nama is Sudarshanaha. Su means good, Darsha auspicious. Darshana means vision or sight. The sight of Bhagavan gives auspiciousness to everyone. That's why they say when we go to very crowded temples like Tirupati and now the Ayodhya temple, Sri Rama temple, Mandir, there will be huge crowds, and we cannot stand in front of Bhagavan and worship him even for a second. They will just chase us out. So they say, we have not seen Bhagavan well, but he might have seen us. So it's very true. His auspicious glance, that power gives us all good things in our life. It changes our life. Either we must see his eyes in a picture, or we must meditate his eyes, or when seeing his vigraha, his power will come to us. So that is his Sudarshana. And this Sudarshana will ultimately lead us to moksha. That is one interpretation. Another interpretation is he has beautiful eyes, just like the lotus petal, and that is also Sudarshana. And another interpretation is if we meditate on him, he gives his vision easily to us. He reveals his form easily in our mind, even though if we are ignorant, if we meditate him without knowing all his glories or anything, if we meditate him or worship him, he reveals his form in us. So these are the different interpretations for the nama Sudarshanaha. And another nama, the next nama is Kalaha. Kalaha means, of course, he is the personification of time. The time itself indicates the moment. Because of Maya, the whole universe is moving, and that is indicated by time. And Kala also limits everything. It limits the time itself. The different divisions of time is Manmantra, Yuga, then Samvatsara means year, then the months, then Mandala, they say. Some say 41 days is Mandala, some say 48 days. Mandala, weeks, then Nimisha. All these are different limits of time. 1 hour means it's a limit of time. That much movement of this earth is indicated by that time, and it's a limit. Like this, Bhagavan in that large scale, by time, he limits everything. He limits this creation itself, or otherwise it will go on for long and on and on and on. So after some time, naturally everything will go into dissolution. So as he indicates that time, by time he indicates or he limits everything. He is the personification of time. Kala, the time itself, is his Maya. So he is called Kalaha. That's why, and moreover, what happens is, what all is happening in this period of time, it gets repeated. Definitely, it gets repeated. That's why Kala, the time is said as Kala Chakra. What all happened in the previous kalpa, it will happen in this kalpa or future kalpa. That's why some great rishis like Agastya Rishi or Vasishta Rishi, they can see the past, present, and future of any being because they know the different kalpas. What all happened for this particular being in that kalpa will be repeated again also. So they know it. Just like what all appeared in the previous year's question paper will get repeated after a few years, just like that. So they have great seers. They can see the events surpassing time, surpassing the limit of time. We do not have that mental capacity. We are capable of doing, but we have to develop that mind power, which we do not have time. So, unfortunately, we are engaged in so many other matters and we cannot sit in a place and meditate properly. If we do that, we too can attain that power. That's why an ordinary rishi can become even a great sage, just like Dacoit Ratnagar. So the events in that particular time definitely will get repeated, but it may take some time. So that's why Kala is called Kala Chakra. So Bhagavan is the personification of time, and so he is called Kalaha. And in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, Shloka 30, he says, Kala Kalayata Maham. Among the controllers, I am the time itself. And the next nama is Parameshti. Parameshti means he shines in his supreme glory in the hearts of all beings. He whose glory can be realized in every being in his heart by meditation or in his mind is called Parameshti. He can be seen by all. His supreme glories can be seen by all. Next nama is Parigraha. Parigraha means one who absorbs everything. Whatever we give him, he will very happily accept it. And in Bhagavad Gita, in chapter 9 and in Shloka 26, it's a very famous shloka and everyone knows it and we all often quote it. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhaktubahrutam ashnami prayatatmanah. Whatever is given to me, whether it is leaf, flower, fruit, some water, with devotion, I will very happily accept it and bless him, Bhagavan says. So he accepts everything, whatever is given to him with devotion, he accepts it, and he accepts all who approach him. Even if you are any person is a great sinner, if we approach Bhagavan, then he will definitely accept that person. and he observes everything in the end of Pralaya. Parigraha, he observes that because all these are his different manifestation. So that is Parigraha. And the next nama, sixth nama is Ugraha. Ugra means terror. He's a terror to this universe in the meaning that everything works fearing Bhagavan. And in the Taittiriya Upanishads also it says he causes terror to even the mighty sun. And fearing him, all this entire universe, whether it is water or the Prithvi or the different planets or the galaxies, everything goes around, and it works because of fearing Bhagavan. So that is Ugraha. He is a terror because he is the creator. Samvatsara means Samvasanti Bhudani idi Samvatsaraha. All the beings reside in him comfortably, and that's why he is called Samvatsaraha. And another shloka from chapter 9, the same chapter, shloka 6, Bhagavan says, यथाकाशस्थितो नित्यं वायु सर्वत्र घो महान् तथा सर्वाणि भूतानि मस्थानित्युपधारय. Just like how the air or the wind exist in ether, in space, like that all the beings, they exist in me. So he accommodates all. All of us reside in him, and that's why he is called Samvatsaraha. And another meaning is, as I said earlier, it denotes the year. The duration of a year is Samvatsaraha. By that, he limits the time, and he is the Swarupa of time, and so he is called Samvatsaraha. The next nama is Dakshaha. He performs all the actions very quickly. Jagat Rubena Vartamanatvat Dakshaha. This is another interpretation. He keeps growing with this universe, with this world. And so he is called Dakshaha. The direct meaning is he performs everything very quickly, what he thinks, immediately it will come into manifestation. It won't take long, like how we practice the power of visualization and bring something into reality. So for that also, for many people, it will not happen. It's not like that. The thinking power of Bhagavan is perfect because he will think everything only according to dharma and according to the dharma of this creation itself. So he brings everything very quickly. The next nama is Vishramaha. Vishramaha means the resting place for everyone. For all of us, we all rest in him. Even now at present, we all exist in him. And in the end also, we all exist in him in a very subtle form, in the seed form. So normally the sufferings of the people in this samsara is hunger, thirst, illness, then losses, material loss, personal losses, then many bad habits, some worry, this papa, experiencing papa. So all this, when we rest in Bhagavan, when we realize that we are resting in Bhagavan, that will be removed from us. He is the resting place for all the sufferings. He is the resting place where we take relief from all our samsara, difficulties of samsara sagara. So that is Vishramaha. And the next nama is Vishwa Dakshinaha. Vishwa Dakshinaha means he is the most skilled and he can do any task easily. And he's the most skilled person in this creation. Just imagine the Trivikrama avatar, the Vamana avatar of Bhagavan. How easily he went to Mahabali and got back the entire creation, the three lokas from him. He didn't do anything. He just asked him for Bhiksha and very intelligently Mahabali agreed to it and he just measured with his feet the three lokas and got back the lokas. This is Vishwa Dakshinaha. He is the most skilled and has great talent to do any task easily. So these are the 10 namas in this shloka, and the summary of this shloka is he is the personification of time itself and he limits everything by time. His darshana is auspicious to all. He controls this uniform in the form of time. He observes and accepts everything. Fearing him, everything works. He relieves us from the samsara sagara. He is the most skilled in this creation. And that's the end of the shloka, shloka 45. And the next shloka, shloka 46 in Vishnu Sahasranama is Vistharasthavarasthano pramanam bijamavyayam artho nartho mahakosho mahabhogo mahadhanah. There are 9 namas in this shloka 46, and they are Vistaraha, Sthavarasthanuhu, Pramanam, Bijamavyayam, Arthaha, Anarthaha, Mahakoshaha, Mahabhogaha, Mahadhanaha. The first nama, Vistaraha, is one who has great extent. He extends to accommodate this creation. He who expands to contain everything is Vistaraha. That's one interpretation. The worlds keep expanding within himself. And he spreads himself in the form of all objects and beings. All the infinite objects and beings are the different manifestations of the different rupa of Bhagavan. So, in that way, he spreads himself out. He expands along with his creation. And at deluge, he merges everything back to him. So, he spreads out during creation, and during pralaya, he absorbs back everything into him. That is in the first mantra of Ishavasya Upanishad. Ishavasyam idam sarvam yad kinchit jagat yam jagat. All this is Ishvara. And the Vishwarupa of Bhagavan itself explains this. See, so he expands along with this creation. He expands to accommodate everything. And the next nama is Sthavarasthanuhu. Sthavara means stable and Sthanuhu means firm. He is that stable, unmoving, and in which all this world is moving. He is that great, all that which is moving or moving on this stable, firm foundation. That's why we are able to move because our foundation is very stable and firm. And Acharya says, he is stable and unmoving, and objects like earth are anchored to it. And it is moving on that which is changeless and unmoving. He is changeless and unmoving, and all the changes exist in him. He is Sthavarasthanuhu. And the next nama is Pramanaha. Pramana means it's a proof of identity. All the Shastras or all the Pramana Shastras, different Pramana Shastras, explain him. He is the proof for all the Pramana Shastras. Different Pramana Shastras are the Pratyaksha Pramana, that which is can be realized by the 5 senses. Paroksha Pramana, beyond the senses. So the Pramana Shastra is very deep. There are different Pramanas, and the Pramana, the cause for all these Pramanas is Bhagavan, and so he is called the Pramana. The authority of this universe itself is Bhagavan. So he is the Karana for all the Pramana Shastras, and another interpretation is he is the authority of this creation. and so he is called Pramanaha. And the next fourth nama is Bijam Avyayam. Bijam Avyayam. But actually, this word should not be split into two according to the Acharyas, because the Avyaya, which means imperishable, is the adjective of the main nama Bijam, which means seed. Bija means seed and Avyaya means imperishable. So he is the indestructible, imperishable seed. He is the cause for the next cycle of creation. In Pralaya, everything goes to him, and it is from him as the seed everything comes out in the next creation, the next cycle of creation. And in chapter 9, Shloka 18, Bhagavan also explains this. Gatir Bharta Prabhu Sakshi Nivasa Sharanam Suhrut Prabhava Pralaya Sthanam Nidhanam Bijamavyayam. He is the Gati, he is the path, he is the Bharta, supporter of all the beings. Prabhu, the Lord, Sakshi, the great witness, Nivasa, abode, Sharanam, shelter for all of us when we suffer in samsara sagar, we go to him. Suhrut, great friend, Prabhava, he is the origin, that is, it is from him everything begins. Pralaya, dissolution, it is in him we all rest in the end. Sthanam, foundation. Nidhanam, he is the treasure house of all the wealth. Bijam avyayam, he is the bijam, the seed, avyaya, imperishable. So that it explains all. And the next nama is Artha. Artha means the ultimate goal. Bhagavan is sought out. He is everyone wants to reach Bhagavan. Why? Because he is the personification of infinite bliss. We do enjoy everything. We do have happiness, but all that is short lived. It will be destroyed by time. Bhagavan is that pure bliss, pure personification of pure bliss. And another interpretation is Artha also means wealth. He has that undiminishing wealth. All our wealth, it is subject to change. It may be today, we may have, tomorrow may or may not have. If we have, some people get trouble and problems because of that wealth itself. So that is the nature of the materialistic wealth which is earned by all of us. But Bhagavan is the undiminishing wealth sought after by a true bhakta. He is the only wealth that gives happiness for all the time, and all the material wealth will give sorrow and worry in the end, or it is diminished by time. It will fade away by time. Anartha, it is just like a paradoxical statement. Anartha means Bhagavan has no desires. He is always content. He's always satisfied. And Bhagavad Gita in chapter 3, Sloka 22, Bhagavan will say to Sri Arjuna, Arjuna, I do not have any particular karma to do in this universe, but still I do work, karma. I do work because many people are following me, and to set an example for them, I always do karma. So he is a satisfied and content person, and that's why he doesn't have any desires, and that is his greatest wealth. That satisfaction, that pure bliss is that greatest wealth. Why do we all want to acquire wealth or money or materialistic, any type of materialistic wealth? For our satisfaction and contentment, so that it will give a feeling to us that I am safe. Whatever happens to me, I am safe because I have this money. I can manage any problem with money. But unfortunately, all the problems cannot be solved by money. Many people do not realize it. But still, they have a content feeling, and they go after this wealth, and in that process they invite so many sufferings and problems. But the wealth of Bhavan is contentment, satisfaction, complete bliss, and only for that we all approach him. So that is anartha, one who has no desires, and so he is always content. The next nama, seventh nama, is Mahakoshaka. He is hidden behind our five koshas. The five koshas are Annamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, and Anandamaya Kosha. These are the five koshas, and behind it, very safely, Bhagavan is hiding as Antaratma. He is the Mahakoshaka. And another interpretation is Kosha also means treasure. He is the vast and inexhaustible wealth. Only for that we all approach him. And the next nama is Mahabhogaha, the great experiencer of that pure bliss and happiness. The Bhagavan is the source of bliss that leads us to moksha. When we experience Bhagavan means we experience bliss, and all other experiences in life change by time. That experience alone, the experience of bliss of Bhagavan, it will never be diminished. Never will it be diminished. And that's why we all approach Bhagavan, and so is Mahabhogaha. And the next nama and the last nama in this shloka is Mahadhanaha. Mahadhanaha means he has great wealth. Great wealth in the sense the spiritual wealth as well as the material wealth, because this universe is his. We all have acquired some money and somehow we earn some money and we think that we are a wealthy person. We do not know that all this will be destroyed by time. But the wealth of Bhagavan, it can never be destroyed. So he has tremendous spiritual as well as material wealth, because this world is his, and he doesn't need any gems or gold. We all give him gems and gold because that's the only way we can express our love and respect to Bhagavan. But Bhagavan is beyond all that. He is Paramarthika Satya, and that is Mahadanaha. He is the personification of unlimited wealth, and that can be never diminished by time. So these are the nine namas in this shloka, shloka 46, and the summary of this shloka is: he is spread out everywhere. He expands accordingly to accommodate everyone. He is stable and firm. He is the final authority. He is the imperishable seed and the ultimate goal of men. He is always satisfied and content. He is the reservoir of treasure. He is the personification of unlimited wealth and bliss. So that is the meaning of the shloka 46 in Vishnu Sahasranama. I will continue with the next shloka of Vishnu Sahasranama in my next upload. Kayena vacha manasendriyaiva buddhyatmana va prakrute swabhavat करोमि यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि.